Woo, it's time to get started. Welcome to the courtroom. Make sure your best behavior. And we have, of course, my eloquent, beautiful Nikki 24/7, the bailiff, that just entered the chat. Ladies and gentlemen.
It is 10:03 a.m. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Love in Order. We are here with episode case number 0082024. And here, on Love and Order, this is where relationship disputes are put on trial and justice is served with a twist. I am Nikki 24/7, your bailiff for today's proceedings. So, in this courtroom, we know it is presided over the Honorable Judge Vibes. We explore the challenges and dilemmas that couples face in their relationships. Today's episode tackles a common but significant issue of household chores and how to divide them. Today we have Team 1 with Naj and Emoja coming up. And we have Team 2 with Gorgeous Lisa and Sexy J. All right. Team 1 is going to argue that household chores and responsibilities should be equally divided to ensure fairness and prevent burnout. Team 2 is going to argue that their contribution to the household chores should be adequate, given if you work long hours and have a higher income, you should do less chores. That's what they're going to argue. As a reminder, this is a televised court proceeding, so please make sure you look appropriate in the camera. Conduct yourself with decorum. And remember that anything and everything you say in this courtroom can and will be held against you. Respect the court, respect Judge Vibes, and your fellow contestants and all the people down there in the comments. You guys, we need to see the judge emoji out there. We need to see your family emoji. We need to see your emoji. These comments need to come, or you will be held in contempt of a court, in court too. And I'll just kick you out. All right, because that's not we not happy. So let me see the emojis. Run them up, 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 run them up.
Emojis in the comments. If you don't obey, you must obey the bailiff.
You must.
We appreciate you, Nikki 24/7. Thank you so much to my bailiff. She's absolutely amazing. So with that being said, court is now in session. I am your host and judge. The Honorable, put some respect on my name, the Honorable Judge Vibes. And as Nikki told you, we are here for household chores. I remember when we was young, we used to get butt whoopings. The key phrase was "go find a belt." That's how we settled disputes when I was younger. But now we taking people to court. So we're gonna bring up our judges. Well, our juror. If we have our juror Smiley J is in the building, or we have Smiley J or Toxic is in the building, we're gonna bring up the juror real quick. Yes, we're gonna bring up Smiley J in the building. We appreciate you. Yes.
Hey everybody, my name is Smiley J. You can find me 9 to noon every day, and then from 9 p.m. to midnight, we do support challenges here. So come check us out. What we are looking for today. Now listen, last week was tough. They came with everything. They threw the whole kitchen. And it was just, I think it was like literally a point off. So come with your A game, kind of attentive, listen to the judge. And Cardi B said it best. I don't cook, I don't clean. But let me tell you how I got this ring.
Hey, that's a good caption right there, Smiley J. Hey, Smiley J, also owner of the Smiley J Casino, which you can find in her stream 24 hours a day. You can go over there and play casino games and win your nice little dragon. Make sure you head over there and win her nice little dragon. All right, now we're going to pull up. Yeah, we got to put up the council. We got to put up the council. If you are on the show, please box up. If you are a contestant on the show, if you're a counsel on the show, pull up in the box, please. Everybody pull up in the box. We're going to do introductions first. Introductions only right now. Introductions only, okay? All right, we're going to bring up my favorite alien. Is coming to the panel. We got Sexy J's coming to the panel. And we got Emoji coming to the panel. Okay. I see all the beautiful ladies. The beautiful ladies are here. That's what I'm talking about. We're missing somebody.
I see the scouts in the building. You can definitely find me on Vibrate High with Naj, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or you can find me anywhere my family is, and definitely check me out. Thank you.
All right. Favorite alien, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the people where to find you.
Emoja on the Rise. I have a show at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called Rejuvenate with Your Mojo. Otherwise, you can catch me in these streets and on various shows such as this one.
All right. Hey, I appreciate all of y'all. And Sexy J, hey, you can't spell sexy without the J. Ha! You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sexy J. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi. My name is Sexy J. You can find me live daily around 8 a.m. between the hours of 8 and 3. I have a show every Tuesday called Beautiful Minds with Sexy J. I invite you all to tune in to everyone that doesn't know about it. And hey, I'm around in these streets. Find me.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you. And right now, your co-counsel is not here right now. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with team one, which is Naj and Umoja, and we're gonna go into opening arguments. Or I should say opening statements. I should say opening statements. So we're gonna set the tone with the opening statements. I hope by the time team one gets done with theirs, we'll go ahead and box you up with your partner. So team one, ready to get this thing going.
Absolutely.
Please present your cases and your opening statements.
So, honorable vibes, the jury, and the guests, I stand before you today to present the case of equitable distribution of household responsibilities within a partnership. And these facts are super, super clear. It's going to be real simple. So while financial contributions to the household may vary, labor required to maintain our home is equally essential to the collective well-being of the household. So despite earning less income, our side has shouldered the majority of the household duties and tasks, and these duties are indispensable to a smooth operation of people's daily lives. It is not disputed that financial contribution is not significant, but it is equally refutable that non-monetary labor, cleaning, cooking, childcare, and all these other domestic tasks hold an intrinsic value. This labor ensures that the living environment is functionable, our meals are prepared, our household runs efficiently, and it enables us both to thrive within our respective roles. So I argue that continuing with the current imbalance only places an undue burden on the household. And it also risks creating an environment of inequality within the relationship. A relationship should be founded on mutual respect and shared responsibility. The principal stake here is not about income disparity, but it is about fairness, partnership, and recognizing the value of contributions, either financial or domestic. So I urge you, the court, to consider fair distribution of household duties is not merely about dividing the task, but it is about ensuring that both partners feel respected, valued, and supported. It's about fostering partnership that both parties can enjoy a balanced life. So in conclusion, I respectfully request that you acknowledge that more balanced division of household responsibilities lets us recognize equitability within our partnerships. Thank you.
Very interesting. Thank you, Naj, for your opening statement.
Wow. Judge Vibes. She has pretty much said everything. I definitely agree with her 110%. You know, having income more than us does not waive any type of responsibilities that you have in the home. That is something separate, and that needs to be understood and respected. So she has pretty much said everything. I think we have a great opening statement. Thank you.
All right, so that will conclude team one on their opening statements. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Thank you. We rest
All
our
right.
opening statements.
Rest your opening statements. We appreciate you, team one. We're gonna go ahead and pull up team two. We gotta stand in. We gotta do everything. Shout out to my guy, Lord Just Me, who is all over the app right now. We appreciate you, brother. So for opening statements, we're gonna go ahead and go. Section J, you wanna go ahead and start it off, or Lord Just Me? I want to start it off.
Your Honor, I would like to state that I definitely agree with everything that was said before, but however, how can you actually put a statute on long hours opposed to someone being home all the time and if that person, I definitely don't agree with a person being burnt out, but there's also a statute of a person being burnt out at work if they are a owner of a business and working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Okay, so there's always going to be some equality there, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in chores. No, we don't want each other burnt out, but we also have to consider each other in the equality of both situations. Having stability and also being honest with ourselves. It's not humanly possible to want or to think that it's going to be equal.
Right.
And I rest my case.
I feel like with me, if I was a man and I'm working all of these hours and things of this nature, right, then this thing should supply you more freedom to take care of the ins and outs and the daily things inside of the house. Also, by me working these hours, I also should be able to afford more help with things in the house as well too. So there's never going to be a balance. One side is always going to feel like they're more important or doing more or bringing in more into the household than the next person is. But at the same time, the balance has to be made between the two people. Like regardless of the monetary things going on in the household or the person that's taking care of the household, there still has to be a balance in that situation. And I'm gonna close right there so I can study some more. I just got here, y'all. Give me a little second.
All right, don't worry. We keep it moving. You know how we do. We still, the show must go on. That's good. All right, team 2, you guys finished with your opening statements.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for both. We're gonna bring team 1 up. We're gonna go ahead and go into round 2, presenting evidence. If you're just joining us, this is Love and Order. I'm your host, Judge Honorable Judge Vibes in the building. We appreciate y'all joining us. If you just joined us right now, you just heard team 1 and team 2 opening statements, and now we're going to go to round 2, presenting evidence. Okay, so this round you both get one time to object on each other's, but if you do object, please keep the objections brief so that we can make sure we hear everybody's argument in a lengthy time. Just remember, this is an hour show, so we're trying to get everything crammed into one time. We start with team 1 last time. We're going to start with team 1 again on evidence. So team 1, are you ready to present your evidence for the case?
I understand that you guys feel, since you make more money, that you feel that we should, I guess, pick up the slack. But we are not your maids. We are not your slaves. When we first moved in together, we all knew our schedules. So to agree to distribute the household chores evenly, you're breaching an agreement. Evidence. First of all, if you do cook, please clean up after yourself. Many times I have went back in the kitchen, pots and pans everywhere, Judge. Stuff drippings all over the stove. No one wants to wake up to an unsanitary home. Also, if you have a mistake in the bathroom, please clean up after yourself. I don't want to have to walk in the bathroom and see certain things, female things as well. This is just common courtesy.
Some of us just ate emoji. The lengthy details is definitely making me feel queasy in the courtroom. I don't want to say that.
I apologize, but that is some of my evidence that I would like to.
I understand. Thank you that's great detail.
I would like to add on and submit my evidence now, please, Judge. Here goes very quickly what the evidence is. Number 1, let's be clear that both parties do work. It's just that one party makes more money, but there is a contribution from our team. We make money as well. So that's evidence number 1. Number 2, also be clear of how much does it cost to do domestic chores in the household. So let's bring that up. If you ordered and bought a housekeeper within the household, it'd be about $25,000 to $40,000 in a year. A chef or a cook, personal, that's about $30,000 to $50,000 a year. Childcare and nanny, $30,000 to $60,000, and driver, chauffeur, another $30,000. So in conclusion, all of those things put together, it's about $250,000 if you were to hire all those people separately versus having this person in your household that's doing all of these chores. So that means you're saving $250,000. So when you think about that value, that means this side is making $250,000 versus how much you make with your little check. And we need to divide that, because right now our value is very high because the duties are not divided. So we need to split that 250 in half. You need to get your 125. I need to get my 125, so we could work that out. Secondly, we're not saying that it can't be enjoyable for you to have the household duties, right? So we're going to help you out. We'll give you some evidence. Here goes some tools in play. You can get your maid outfit on. You can have a lot of things to make it very enjoyable for you to enjoy your chores in the household, so we can have work and play. Thank you, Your Honor.
If you're just joining us, this is Love and Order. I am your host, Judge Vibes, in the building. I appreciate y'all. And we are here with Team 1. We got Umoja, we got Anaj, and Team 2. We got Sexy J and Kind of Hearted, which has did a gender change. It's still a handsome, my brother. Still handsome, but don't look like Kind of Hearted. I'm just letting you know, don't look like Kind of Hearted, but you get what I'm saying. So now we're going to go into, we heard round 1. Okay, we heard opening statements, okay, from both teams. Now we are on round 2, which we just heard the illustrious Nas and Umoja. They presented their evidence. Now we're going to go into Sexy J. Can't have sexy without the J. And Kind of Hearted Bay. We appreciate you.
Lord, just me. Lord, just me.
Oh, my bad, brother. My bad. We appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to Lord, just me. I'm just messing with him. I appreciate y'all. But are y'all ready to go ahead and present your evidence for the case? Let's make it happen.
I just want to touch on one thing, and then I'm gonna let Sexy go. The term breadwinner is the member of the family who earns money to support the rest of the family. In olden times, there was not a situation where the man and the woman or in a relationship were doing the same amount of things. These things were equal because one party was taking care of the finances and everything else, and the other party was taking care of the homemaking. I'm not gonna go into detail as Umoja did, but yes, a man is supposed to clean up behind himself and do the breadwinner. We're gonna say that because the breadwinner could be the woman. Yes, the companion is supposed to clean up behind themselves and everything else, but there's supposed to be an obligation and a duty that's attached to one of these people. That obligation and duty that's attached to the man, or I'm gonna just use the gender thing now. The man is to be the provider. It's my job to be the provider, the protector, and to keep everything else like it's supposed to be. But as the woman, in the olden days, and I feel like now it's a lost thing. I'm on your team. Why are you objecting with me?
Well, how you object your own? Wait a minute. Hold in the court. How do you object your own team? This is the first, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, but you have to let me make my argument, love. I'm arguing with you, Sexy. I'm on your team.
Lord, just me. Let me first calm the court down. This is the first, ladies and gentlemen. A teammate's object their own teammate goes wild. Yes. I never heard that.
I don't like the term olden times. It's just, we're talking about today.
I'm just using my metaphors and the way I choose to speak about it to make our case sexy. That's all.
I object, Judge. That is very demeaning.
You object? Okay, go ahead.
That is very demeaning.
What, olden?
Demeaning?
Yes.
Okay.
Very demeaning and disrespectful, Lord.
All right. Well, so I tell you what, Lord, just rephrase it. We don't go by the same one.
I only object because I'm waiting for the evidence. So, but he can say olden all day long. He could olden for the next 2 minutes.
So what? I'm going to go ahead and defer to my co-counsel because it feels like I'm being jumped by 3 women right here.
However, I agree with some of the terms that was being said about having household chores being equal. But like I said before, it doesn't matter who's the breadwinner or, who's making more money. If we stay stuck on that term, then we're losing something somewhere. Because how is it humanly possible for everybody to have the same responsibilities? If I'm working 12 hours a day, I'm a business owner, I'm working 12 hours a day, okay? 6 days out of the week, I'm barely home, okay? But then let's not forget the fact that when I do come home, there are dishes in the sink, For what reason, I don't know.
Because you put them there
Yeah,
before you
no,
left.
I didn't put them
Before you
there
left.
if I'm not there. You understand me? How can I come home late at night
Hey,
depleted?
team one. Let's keep
Or
it down a little bit. Let's let them present.
and I like to say this. However, I have a little OCD. So if I come home, I love the room, the bedroom, the kitchen, and the bathroom very clean. So when I come home at night, why should I see this? Okay, that shouldn't be there. So at the end of the day, we're talking about being equal. Then you want to bring up the prices of what it would cost to have a maid. Of course, you could have a maid, but why have a maid when everybody, a responsible adult, should be anyway? I feel embarrassed to be here discussing such a point as household chores when there's so much more to be discussed. And I'll leave it right there.
So I just want to make a quick counter because of the fact that you said everything should be fair. So one of the things that you just said, both of you in your statement, well, mainly Sexy, is that you said that it should be fair. It should be, that we do that. You don't want to have to come home to things. So if you remember the beginning of our argument, we stated that it is the responsibility of both parties to keep the house clean. That is our argument. So you're literally on our side with that. We both are responsible to clean up after ourselves and keep the household clean, right? So we don't disagree with that. We don't disagree with there being even distribution of us maintaining the household that we have together, right? Especially because we are both contributing time and effort into the house, and also both of us have careers that we are contributing into financially as well.
Objection. One of us has a career, one of us has a job. It's the difference. The salary and everything makes a difference. Since y'all wanted me to speak in these terms, and hold on, wait a minute. Since we want everything to be fair, fair means equal. If your pay does not equal what my pay equals, then that means I'm doing more work and bringing in more things into this home, which means I'm taking on a lot. I'm not done. I'm not done. Wait, I'm not done. That means I'm taking a lot more into this home.
Order, everybody, order.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let him cook.
Let him finish the objection, and then we'll go. Let him finish the objection.
Carry on with your undercooked statements. Go ahead.
Let's get to the point. Maybe tell you.
We're equal in here. It should be balanced. If the pay isn't balanced, then that means in some other way you should have to be doing other things to balance this out, correct? So if, like she said, I'm working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, that means there's only a couple. Now we got to still add in these other things that we're supposed to talk about, right? Commute on the way home, gas, and making sure all of these other things when I get home. Mind you, nobody ever leaves the office right when they're supposed to. So this 12-hour day probably turned into a 13, 14-hour day with commute and everything else, which means now I have 10 hours left in the day. You mean to tell me that I should have to come home after providing everything else? All of your wants and needs are provided for. So one of my wants is to come home into a well-kept home. Now I'm done.
Both sides are presented. I have a question for both sides. All right, so let's go first. We're gonna go with team one. All right, got a question for you. So with your argument, do you have any more substantial statistics that can back your evidence up? Any more statistics can back your evidence up?
So as I stated before, I want it to be made clear when we talk about the calculator, because we're removing finances, or they're displaying finances, right? Please understand that if you are doing the work of $250,000 worth of work, right, that translates to that going into your household to make your household run smoothly, right? Now, if we were to eliminate that person being the housekeeper, the chef, the childcare provider, the driver, the chauffeur, and everything else, your whole entire household will fall apart. You got wrinkled clothes, you got dirty clothes, you got no food in the kitchen, you got no one shopping, you have no one taking care of your kids and they look baby kids. You got all of this. And that now makes your mental health go down because your household is not running. Home is literally where your peace is, right? So you need to have a space where both parties are responsible for providing that peace within the household. So I'm going to stop right there.
And that is what we are trying to display, is that these are man hours, okay? Work man hours that Naj is saying. If we may not make financially the money that they make, but there are man hours involved.
It's called sweat equity. We have sweat equity involved in this relationship.
To the financial piece, the financial offset. So that is what we are trying to display here.
Sweat equity is recognized in business, Mr. Businessman. So anybody who has a business, understand that sweat equity is included in business dealings. Thank you.
Do you think, team one, quick question, team one. Do you believe that it's justified by what a person makes, whether it be gender, whatever it may be, it justifies how much they put into the household, chores wise? Just because maybe because a woman makes more or the man makes more and it works more hours, does that justify does the chores divide equally? How is it distributed to in your likeness to what I'm saying as far as pay and hours work? Do you think that the chores be evenly distributed, or how would you work it out in your household?
I would never want my partner to be doing something that they don't enjoy. So for example, I may not enjoy doing laundry, but I enjoy cooking or something of that nature. So we would just basically sit down and look at all the chores to run a household, and we pick the things that we're better at, right? And if one person is better at that and they're a better shopper, they should do the shopping. If another person is better at this, they should do that. So we would sit down collectively and we would devise a plan that would actually cater to our capabilities. And once we do that, everyone will enjoy what they're doing because they're good at those things.
Who do you think, Gorgeous Me and Sexy J, should be responsible for household chores? Say if the man worked 40 hours a week and say the woman may work, and maybe she works 40 hours a week as well, but the woman makes more and the man makes less. What do you think?
I don't think that the financial status of either party should define the responsibilities, obligations, or priorities of a relationship. What she just said a second ago was like, so regardless of anything, we have to, even though this is based on just chores and finances, right? Regardless of anything, we still all have to realize that it's still based on man and woman. It's still the same thing, right? I'm a traditional man. So with being a traditional man, I was raised with values of working, providing, doing those things, and also cleaning up after myself. So I never want none of you women to sit there and feel like we shouldn't have to clean up after ourselves, take care of certain things. There's certain things a woman shouldn't have to do in the house. When it comes to chores, a woman shouldn't have to take the trash out, cut the grass, tend to lawn, and things of that nature. But everything else, I really do feel like you're responsible for. My rebuttal to Naj was like, well, we're going to figure out what I like doing the most and what you like doing the most, and then we're going to separate that and do it. That life don't work like that. I don't like doing, I'm quite sure a lot of us don't like doing the things that we do at work. I can't send my wife in there to go do my job because I don't like doing this. We have to look at the household thing and everything else as a job. That's an occupation. Still same thing. Reason being because the women that don't work and are taken care of by their husbands. Now let's change that both ways. Men that don't work and are taken care of by their women, they're paid because of all of the things that the other person does. Buying and taking care of the house, clothing, food, all of these other things right there. So it's the same thing. We cannot eliminate gender out of this argument when that's really the whole thing that's going on right now. The reason that this is an argument, I just looked it up. It says that not splitting up the chores is the third leading thing to divorce. How is that possible? Like, let's make that make sense. How? Wait a minute. I don't wait, Naj. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt either one of y'all.
Thanks for the stat that helped our side.
Let him finish the statement. Okay.
I gave you a stat that's a true stat based off of, regardless of that being a true number, right? It should be, we should look at that as a ridiculous thing for that to be the third leading thing in divorce. Because somebody has to take on some type of, listen, responsibility is not delegated, it's volunteered to. You have to go, okay, I got to do this because this is what it is. This is what we need done. If you see me working, now mind you, most times men work manual jobs, physically demanding jobs, right? So you're expecting me to come home after 13, 14 hours, clean and do all this other stuff? That's just, to me, that's not feasible.
I think that by having us evenly distributed tasks, like Naj said, you take tasks that you enjoy, I take tasks that I enjoy, we all feel respected and we all feel that we are all working together, regardless of who worked this hours and that hours. We knew all this when we came into this household. So, I just feel like there's a lot of whining.
So, now speak for
we're gonna pause it for round 2 is already over. We're gonna go to round 3. All right. If you're just joining us, this is Love and Order. I'm your host, Judge Vibes. We just heard opening statements round for team 1 and team 2, and we heard evidence. Now we're going to round 3, the final round, where we will talk about closing arguments. That means you're gonna close out the case, and you're gonna plead this case and close it out to win the case. That's what it's about. So team 2, go ahead and begin your closing, and let's get to the business. Get to the business.
I want to take the monetary value out of the household chore part, because I want to say this first. I have been the breadwinner, the doing all the household chores, taking care of the kids, all of that. The only thing that mattered to me was when I did feel tired out, that there was someone there to take care of me. Okay. So with that being said, we're talking about, I heard something say, you all say something about, we're talking about man hours. Well, no, I did this for 30 years. Okay. And was comfortable in my own skin. Yes, I cooked. Yes, I cleaned. Yes, I did all of that. And I was happy doing it because I knew what I signed up for. Okay. Just as well as what Yamal just said. I agree with that. But in the same instance, we're gonna take the monetary value out of it and just say this. What we are looking for is someone to share equal responsibilities to how we feel about certain things. And that's why we're here. Okay, yes, we're gonna get tired. Yes, we're gonna feel burned out, but that's equal, just like Lord Just Me said. Okay, closing argument. We're both gonna be tired out at some point. But to actually, in human life, to say that, oh, we're going to be equal in household chores, I can never see that. Yes, I want him to do something. Yes, I want to, see him help me do things. But okay, he's cutting the grass. He's putting gas in my car. He's cleaning my car. He's doing the outside work of the yard, the lawn. Okay, so for me, I'm in the house. And yes, I still work. And yes, I still make just as much money. That doesn't have anything to do with it. Being the person that you are and knowing what you signed up for is simply what I'm saying. You know what you signed up for. Be okay with it. And if not, choose another partner. End of the argument.
I think fairness is knowing that I'm making the majority of the money. And even though I do contribute, I'm not going to be able to contribute as much as you because I'm working more and providing other things. Moji keeps saying that we know what we signed up for. Well, we all know what we signed up for in the beginning, but we all know that every time the clock moves, a second goes past, it's evolution, right? We have to keep going. It's evolving, right? So roles may change, scenarios, events, and things of that may change, right? And when those things change, you have to come into a situation and say, you know what? He can't do that anymore. Or the man, if the woman is making all the money, she can't take on all of these things. It's never going to be fair. When you sign up to be in a relationship, a man signs up to be the protector, to the provider, the man that takes his wife and children to God and these things. I thought that the woman signed up to be a nurturer, a homemaker, and a mother and things of that nature too. Now, if we get to the point where these things are, the finances are just different and you're making all of the money, then as a man, I'm supposed to take on the other roles then too. I'm supposed to be in the house doing the things that I can't do. Why? Because I can't expect you to do those things when you're at work and bringing in all of the money. So if it was the other way around, would you expect to have to come home and do all of these things if you're the breadwinner? Because when I looked it up, it's women that divorce the men. When they are the breadwinners and everything else, they divorce the men. And it's not about, you're not doing nothing. How can I? You're more educated, you got a better job and everything else. Y'all leave us every time when that type of thing happens like that. So with that being said, there's no fairness. Fair in equality in this type of situation here is this. It's going to do this all the time. It's a balance. Okay, babe, you doing this and all this? Okay, well, I'm going to pick up this and do this. Babe, you doing this and all this? Okay, well, I'm going to pick up and do this. It's not know what you signed up for. It's a compromise. And compromising, it should seem fair for you to go ahead and take care of the housely duties if I'm bringing in all of the money and working 7 more hours than you do. What are you doing in those other 7 hours?
Briefly, go ahead and give your closing arguments.
I'm going to address team too, because thank you so much for arguing our points for us. So I appreciate you. So now, some of the things that you said that you concluded was the fact that the third leading cause of divorce is the fact that there is not a fairness of dividing. So if that's the case, and if you don't divide and there isn't fairness, that shows you that women want equity. That shows you that they want fairness within their relationship and to be recognized for the duties that they contribute. And if you don't do that, you will be an honorable man sitting outside without a wife. So to make the relationship actually work, that means that this really does have to be addressed according to the statistics. The other thing that you guys brought up that helped our case is the fact that you said there should be some dividing. And guess what I said? I said divide to the things that you would like to do. So you mentioned wanting to do garbage and mowing the lawn and taking out trash. These are things that I don't want to do. So I would respectfully yield to you being able to do those things. And I will go ahead and do the things that I enjoy doing, because we are dividing it based on what we can do, how we can do. So again, thank you very much for pleading our case. Thank you very much for agreeing that there should be fairness so that there isn't divorce. Thank you very much for us winning our case. And I conclude and pass on to my teammate.
There's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to say. Yes. I mean,
All right.
Mike dropped. I'm sorry, but yeah, case dismissed. I mean, you know.
Well, you can't dismiss the case, Emoji. I understand you when you're strong with the argument, but you cannot close the case until it's my job. You know what? I'm tired of people doing my job in this courtroom. If you're just joining us, you very late. But we just heard this is Love and Order. I'm about to say Lord and Order, because that's what it felt like in the whole courtroom right now. Love and Order. I'm your host, Judge Vibes, the Honorable Judge Vibes. Put respect on my name, please. I appreciate you. This court right here, this right here. I want to bring y'all back. I want to see what the after show gonna do. That's what I want to see. I feel like it's gonna be some boxing gloves and some blood being tossed around this place. I appreciate y'all. Hey, we are now into jury deliberation. Thank you so much. Hey, I guess that was a flight back. I had went to San Tropez and came back, so that was a flight back to come back. So I appreciate that new label. Thank you so much, love. I appreciate that. The jury done delivering? Done deliberating? Just in here. So when the jury is ready and finished deliberating, go ahead and hit that box. We'll go ahead and get Smiley J up in here. Smiley J. Whoo! It was hot in here. It was hot in her. As a great late Nilly, and I can't, not the great late Nilly, but you know what I mean. It was getting hot in here in the courtroom today.
It was the first time ever that everybody was on the same team.
Everybody was on the same team. I felt that way too. That's why I was like, well, I'm looking for an opposing argument, but there really was none. So, I mean, I know
if the first time where two people was objecting each other that was on the
same team. Get it together, people. Get it together. I'm just trying to say, I love my people, man, but we got to get together for real. I appreciate y'all. But thank you, Smiley J, for doing it.
Non-side one, because everybody was agreeing on the same thing. Everything should be divided. And I think what really took it was somebody said that I'll do the lawn mowing and I'll take out the trash. Duh, that's what it. Anyways, that was it.
And I do. Wait. I hear something. I hear. There's protests outside. They're picketing outside, led by Chakra Energy. And they're saying, hell no, we won't go. And they keep saying it over and over again. So shout out to Chakra Energy leading that protest outside of the courtroom. Just make sure you don't come inside of here. I appreciate you, Smiley J. Thank you, Smiley J. For my Jason going outside to help the nice little protest. Just don't make it inside the courtroom. I'm gonna have to have my bailiff take you outside. We appreciate you. Appreciate you keeping it outside. Please guard the doors before they won't come inside. I appreciate you. Ooh, we got the bailiff back in the building. I think she's about ready to arrest a couple people right now and hold people in contempt of court. We appreciate you, Nikki, 24/7.
That was a wild case. That one was a wild one, and I was up and ready to get a couple people out a couple times. There's a lot happening here. We had a lot of tension. I was scared this was gonna be a mistrial. I was definitely scared. They was back there like, what is taking place? What is happening?
Well, Lord, just me. He's already had one mistrial. He's about to have a second one. We already got to bring nobody and him back to the court in the first place anyway, because they couldn't settle the first trial. So
I know we got that on the docket. It's coming up. It's you guys, we're backlogged. You guys don't understand how many cases are coming in. It's just really, really backed up right now. So we're gonna get them back, but we're having a hard time securing a jury and a venue for that because it was so crazy last time. The people got stopped. They got cookie cutters all over that, like people were getting things in the mail. It turned really bad.
The evidence was substantial, and it was just a lot of things that were tossed around the courtroom that day. We appreciate everybody. If you're just joining us, we are closing the case out for today. Where we talked about household chores. We were talking about one partner feels that they are taking on the majority of the chores, household responsibilities, and arguing the tasks that should be equally divided, while the other believes that the contribution is adequate considering their long work hours and hourly wages.
Yeah.
So that's what we argued. Both sides came with some pretty decent arguments today. It was almost a hung jury, I had to say myself. I almost called it myself. But we appreciate everybody, all counsel, all my counsels for pushing up here and pulling up. Shout out to all of them for doing what they had to do to present their evidence and argument. We appreciate you. This is Love and Order. I'm your host, Judge Vibes, the Honorable Judge Vibes. Put some respect to my name. I appreciate you. And that was the case, ladies and gentlemen. That is court is adjourned.